Okay, so this is the new Samsung Galaxy Flip 5, and this video is everything Samsung doesn't want you to know about it. Let me explain. You see, when Samsung released their first flip phone way back in 2020, it was a novel breakthrough at the right time. And when the Flip 4 came out in 2022, I loved it so much that it became my new daily Android phone. And in fact, like most other people, there are only 3 things I didn't like: the battery life, the camera quality, and the crease. Easy fixes, right? Or at least you'd expect a reasonable improvement for this new Flip 5. Well, here's a breakdown of what's changed. New cameras? Nope. New bigger battery capacity? Nope. Faster charging speed? Nope. An invisible crease like the Oppo N2 Flip, which came out 6 months ago? Nope. A locking mechanism so the screen actually stays stiff when open rather than flaccid?
Oh, hell no!
Maybe some new thinner dimensions? Nope. Less expensive? If you're confused at this point, then you're not alone. So what's happened? Well, to explain this, we need to step back a bit. You see, Samsung as a business has been struggling. In fact, its profits dropped a crushing 95% in the first quarter of this year. There's a bigger problem though, one far more concerning. While Samsung have over 30% share of the smartphone market in the US, this number drops to just 16% in under 30s. In short, young people are simply not buying from Samsung. Their buyers tend to be older and more male rather than female, and that's a big problem for their future revenue. In fact, Apple over-indexed so much here that if you look at the market share of that age group, the results are pretty shocking. Samsung needs a new strategy fast, and what they landed on was a little-known approach called Target the Young Female. To do this, they imagined what a bunch of adolescent girls would want from their phones. The answer that came back was pretty unanimous: take selfies. Now all they needed was a sacrificial lamb that they could feed to the wolves, injecting a not so subtle fluffer product into that community like something out of Inception but gone badly wrong. Enter the Flip 5, a device literally designed entirely around social media, or so we're led to believe, with a new larger front screen which Samsung are calling the Flex window.
Oh, hail the Flex window!
Give me strength. Unveiled with the catchy strapline,
Join the flip side.
alongside a highly authentic partnership with a girl called Sydney Sweeney, which we're all expected to believe was there simply because she loved the phone.
I'm so excited to be here in Seoul, and I can't wait to capture the beautiful city and all its people with the new Z Flip 5.
Exactly the kind of mindless, soulless, vapid self-expression guff that everyone wanted, right?
Wrong.
And that's exactly the problem. It just puts me off buying this phone. I should be part of the target set for this phone, and I'm clearly not. This is a strategy that was doomed from day one. I mean, do you really expect the parents of a bunch of 14-year-old girls to go out and spend $1,000 on a smartphone so they can pursue their TikTok careers?
That's a rhetorical question.
Especially one that's probably the least durable and most fragile in the market. Not to mention a front screen that's locked at 60Hz, so it's not only bigger this year, but also sucks the battery dry faster than Imateb guzzling up some human flesh. This is what's known as a life stage trap. This is a flagship phone, and like it or not, the reality is that the vast majority of people buying it are slightly older and have a higher income. In other words, people who can afford to splurge on something like this and don't have to stress too much when the wheels fall off. And that's not going to change unless the Flip becomes a lot cheaper and a lot more durable, so it's more realistic for that younger segment. And then there's another problem as well. People are actively trying to reduce their screen time at the moment, not increase it. And even younger people are catching on to this. Just look at this study by Motorola in partnership with Nancy Etkoff, showing at least 33% of young people have a negative relationship with their phone, 36% wishing that smartphone companies made phones that took up less of their time, 62% saying they become so distracted by their smartphone that they don't even hear other people talking to them, and 74% of Gen Zs experience positive emotions as a result of being voluntarily separated from their phone. In summary, people are desperate for their screen time back, and this is all supported heavily by the Surgeon General's comments recently calling on tech companies to take immediate action to protect people from social media and spoke of the profound risks of child social media use. Why do you think books like Indistractable have been written? Basically, we finally realised our relationship with tech is unhealthy. We're all burnt out, especially young people, and we need more balance. If you saw my video on the Flip 4, then you'll know how much I praised it for being the first device I've used that actually helped me focus. It improved my productivity. The small outer screen was big enough to action stuff without getting sucked in, and it was small enough as well that I could throw it in a bag and didn't have to worry about breaking it or scratching it. One of the big benefits of a flip phone for me is the fact that the main screen is actually protected when you fold it and chuck it into a bag. I mean, look at this scratch from the outside of my Flip 4. Imagine if that was across the front screen, all of which begs the question, why aren't Samsung talking about this? I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some really strong positives to this phone. The new design, for one, is absolutely stunning, and frankly, I just can't get enough of it. There's a new hinge which now lets the phone fold completely flat without a gap. The inside screen is now 25% more scratch resistant, and there's a new Gorilla Glass Invictus 2 on the front, which supposedly has the strength of ceramic. The side buttons on this new model actually protrude slightly this year to make them more tactile. There's a new processor inside as well, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, as well as a new base storage increase up to 256GB. And there's a lot of customization options too if you're into that sort of thing. But unlike other reviewers, no, I won't be losing myself in them. The camera can now track your face while you're moving, similar to Apple's center stage feature, and there's also some lovely little software features. But all of these things feel minor in the grand scheme of what Samsung could have given us, and that's why this is a missed opportunity. So what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a phone that is a giant dichotomy. It's gone all in on social media and selfies, but the camera is outdated tech. It's targeting young female consumers, but it's not priced for them. And it both protects the main screen whilst also exposing the other one to damage. It's a phone of huge contradictions and confusion. And yet, despite all its drawbacks, I'm still a huge fan of it because of its potential. And if you can find a way to ignore all of Samsung's bizarre marketing, then you might find yourself loving it as well. And so yes, I'm probably going to end up getting one, because let's face it, I'm just a sucker for this phone. But that doesn't mean I can recommend that you should. It needs a better camera, a bigger battery, a more durable design, and a clever AI system to complement the form factor and its growing list of gesture controls. If you want a Samsung phone right now, then it's a pretty easy choice for me. Go for the S23 Ultra. You'll get a better all-round phone, better specs, and all of this for a similar price. And if you're desperate for a flip phone, then save yourself a wedge and go for the Flip 4. Your wallet will thank you. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Let me know what you think in the comments below, get subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.